power is in the people. Think about this here when I was sitting and listening to the question. The last state that recognized, we all know how wonderful and special Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was. But it was only recently, what was it, Arizona? Right? That recognized Dr. King's birthday as a holiday. It took them that long on the side of history, the right side of history, to do the right thing. But the people continue to pound the pavement. The people fired the shotgun, not the rifle, to say that we need this done. So when we look here in D.C., the law, there was the juvenile law that just spoke over here. They have a thing called the Incarceration Reduction Amendment Act. We refer to it as IRA. IRA spoke to the individual who was charged, well not charged, who was sentenced to life term imprisonment under the age of 17. Then later on, the people advocated, the lawyers advocated and fought for the expansion. Then later on, D.C. Council passed a measure of legislation to deal with this second look, which extended from not under 18, but under 25, because we know that brain science teaches us that the frontal lobe of the brain doesn't fully develop until the mid-20s, right? So then we came forward with this new sentencing scheme in the District of Columbia. A second look is needed for everyone. I spent 27 consecutive years inside of a carceral space. I was inside of 16 different facilities. 16 different facilities for 27 years. The majority of my time out of 27, like 15 or 16, was done in the Federal Bureau of Prison. I've done time with individuals from Mississippi, New York, California, throughout the United States of America. My federal homies, as we refer to them, they deserve a second chance too. But it isn't part of the sentencing scheme. Just like when D.C. was watching how federal inmates or federal incarcerated people were receiving a re-sentencing or reduction in sentencing, but we as District of Columbia incarcerated people, we did not benefit from that. Now the flip side, when they did IRA and the second look, and there's literally, I would say, maybe I think there's, don't quote me on my math here, but I believe it's like over 160 something? 160 former juvenile life in the District of Columbia who are now free. Less than 5% has recommitted a crime. Phenomenal. Why not extend that same opportunity to men and women who have been sentenced to exorbitant sentences? 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, life in sentence, and they've already served their time to be afforded opportunity to have their sentences revisited. That's the fight. We need to have it on every platform, and every jurisdiction in the United States of America should afford an incarcerated person at least a colorful argument to present to the courts that they deserve a second chance at freedom. They are the same individuals who unofficially are functioning like mentors inside the facility where they're at. They are the same individuals who are, when the war happens on the compound, they are the people that the wardens are looking at because they can go out there and say, hey, stand down. So they're curbing violence on the inside. Even the work that the return of cities have done in D.C., they are curbing violence in the city. They don't have all the resources. You can't blame them when they're at the spike in crime. But here are individuals who are leveraging their stories. They are credible messages. They are credible in the eyes of the peers and individuals with whom they are trying to reach. That is something we need to put a little bit more strength, a lot more resources behind, that we can curb the violence in our cities and reap the benefits of public safety that everyone wants. So my final point is simply this here. As it relates to a second look, every person in the United States of America, 20 years is enough. We have 50 years of a failed policy, 50 years of mass incarceration. Incarcerating our people at an exorbitant rate. We need to come to a census to a point where we can say, this is the benchmark. This is where it stops. 20 years is entirely too much to have anybody incarcerated inside of a carceral space. He or she deserves an opportunity to present a colorful argument to the courts as relates to resentencing. I will yield with that.
Yes, thank you. Agreed. Let me check with my supervisors to the day.